Hi everybody, I'm Alicia Adams, and in addition to my regular full-time job, I'm a Jamberry independent consultant. Jamberry nails, in case you're not familiar with them, are little strips of vinyl that apply directly to your nails with a little bit of heat and pressure, and they come in so many different patterns and colors, from the tamest all the way to really wild. And you have the benefit of the fact that they last on your nails for 2 weeks, give or take a few days, depending on how rough you are and what kind of maintenance you do on them, on your fingers. And then on your toes, they last 4 to 6 weeks. So if you're like me and you can't do nail polish because it looks ugly after a day, then Jamberry may be the solution to your problems. So, unlike traditional nail polish, they don't chip, they don't require drying time, they're made in the USA, they're completely non-toxic, and each sheet of Jamberry nails can be used for 3 to 4 manicures or pedicures, depending on how big your nails are. So they are a fraction of the cost of a salon visit. The Jamberry catalog and website showcase more than 300 different designs of nails, from college teams to special interests like sports, and all kinds of colors and patterns. And if for some reason you cannot find what you're looking for in here, say you have a special dress that you want to match exactly, then you go to our nail art studio, upload photos or other images, maybe the logo for your business or your pet or your children's faces or whatever, and you can print custom nail wraps. How cool is that? When you buy Jamberry nails, they come in a sheet that looks just like this, and inside this little envelope, it's nice and sticky to keep it in, you'll find Jamberry. Jamberry nails come in lots of different sizes so that you can have ones that fit your fingernails or your toenails. And with these wraps, most people can get a pedicure, a full pedicure for their both feet out of just 2 wraps. You cut the big one into a left and right for your left and right big toes, and then cut the next biggest one into 8 pieces for your other little toes. So you get a lot for your money out of these. So you've got a left and right so many times in here. And then if your nails are pretty short, you can use a left and a right and then save the middle strip for either tiny toes, kids' fingers, or any sort of scraps that you might want to keep on hand for mix and match. The wraps also come in juniors sizes, little tiny ones for kids, and they come in mommy and me sets that match the mommy wraps to the kids wraps. So super cute. Little girls love them. I have a 3-year-old and she is always eager to have her nails done. The juniors are a lot smaller and there's a lot more of them on the sheet. So if you have extremely tiny nails, you might consider this, but for the most part they're for little girls. And Jamberry also comes in a lot of specialty styles. So this is the autism awareness one, and this one, if you order these, then a portion of the proceeds for this wrap goes to the charities related to the wraps. Okay, now I'm going to give you a quick demonstration on how easy it is to apply the Jamberry wraps. First, and very important, wash your hands really well. If there's oils on your hands or fingers, the Jamberry wraps will not stick as well. So I've washed my hands, they're very clean. Then, especially if you have really oily nails, which I don't, so I'm not going to do it, but If you have really oily nails or you're working where you haven't had an opportunity to wash them really well, wipe your nails really good with alcohol or white vinegar or black tea or something that's in kind of an astringent. Jamberry sells nail wipes. They're big and nice and plush, and they'll work for your whole manicure. If you want to go buy some alcohol pads from the drugstore, that's fine too. They're smaller, but they work. So prep those. And then, very important step, make sure you push your cuticles back, because Jamberry wraps cannot touch your skin. If they touch your skin, then they're going to get oils on them and they won't adhere as well. So make sure your cuticles are trimmed and or pushed back, because if you get one stuck on your cuticle, and then it's going to start lifting and be a problem for you. So we don't want that. You could always go to a salon and get a fancy manicure and just have them not paint your nails, but I don't really know why you'd want to do that, except unless you like the little pampering. Everybody loves a little pampering. So then once you've got your cuticles pushed back and they're wiped with alcohol or some other astringent, then you have to decide which size of wrap fits your nail best. So when you saw the sheet that I had, you could tell there's a whole bunch on them. So here's a sample. I'm going to use this one. So this is a left and a right. And then because my nails are not super long, I'll have a strip left in the middle that I can use on toes or my kids or whatever. So once you've decided, oh, here, another tip. You want the wrap to cover enough of your finger that you don't have a whole lot of the sides of your finger showing, but you don't want it to be too big, because if it's too big, it's touching your skin. And if it's touching your skin, it won't stick. So I'm going to take the wrap and then cut it. Let's see, mine comes out to just above that little flower right there. So I'm going to cut it. So there I have my left. And since I'm not doing a right on this particular video, we'll save this one for when I do. So here is the piece of the wrap that's going to go on this finger. Now, you don't have to use a base coat when you do your nails either, but I like it because I feel like it protects my nails and helps them to be a little healthier. They can be absorbing the vitamins and whatever that's in this stuff while the naps are on wraps. Jamberry sells base coats. You can use any base coat as long as it's not oily. So I'm going to put on a little splash of this, and it just is very quick drying and light. It's not made to be worn out on top and be, you know, shiny and whatever. So I'm going to turn on my little heater, warm that up. It's very exciting, isn't it? Let's see if I can think of anything else that I need to tell you. Don't forget to save your scraps when you cut the little pieces. Some people take the wraps and lift them off of the sheet before they cut it so that they don't ever cut off little strips. I don't do it that way, and then I end up with lots of little bits and pieces left after I do a manicure. But you can decide what works best for you. Okay, so my top coat is dry. Now, you can see right here I have my little Jamberry heater. They just announced a new heater is coming out, and it's going to be very tiny and have a little kickstand on the back. It'll be way more portable, so I'm super excited to see that one. So, take the pointy end of your orange stick or tweezers if you like. However you want to get the wrap off of the backing is fine. Just don't touch it with your fingers, because there you're getting oils on it. Then it's not going to stick as well. Okay, so I take it, oh gosh, it's hard to show you at this angle, but just pop up the top of the wrap with the little orange stick, like that, and then sort of roll it underneath so that you are able to control the wrap, and then hold the wrap in front of the heater until, this is a black wrap in front of a black heater, so it's really hard for you to see, but you want it to start to curl up a little, which you can see now it's kind of doing there. So once it's warm, I take it and carefully put the edge all the way down at my cuticle without touching the cuticle. Then press it down starting in the middle all the way down to the edges. Press, 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 press on the tip. You can press with your finger, you can press with a rubber cuticle pusher, whatever tool you like, and then when it's all the way pressed down, all the way around, you can see there's no bubbles. I wonder if that'll focus for me. All the way around, all the way up at the top, at the cuticles. There's no bubbles on the sides. Then I'm going to stick it in front of the heater just a little bit longer to make sure that that adhesive is really stuck on there. Like that is good. So then what I usually do is my whole hand, and I'll go and put all of the wraps on so they all have this goofy little tab sticking off of the top. And then once you've gone and done them all and the adhesive is cool, you know, wave your hands around a little bit. It's not necessary, and it's not like you can't touch it because they don't smear or anything. It's just that you want the adhesive to be totally, completely solid on there. So once you've done that, then you just go back and take either little scissors or clippers and get all the excess wrap off the end of your nail, like that. So then you're almost done. I like to reheat them. Some people file. Jamberry has these nice little rough files, and you can take it and file down. You don't ever want to file up because that will make the wrap lift on the tip. You can file downward just to get it completely smooth on the tip, like that. And then I like to reheat it once the tip has been cut off. It's super easy. Just make sure that that adhesive that you exposed when you cut the tip off is completely sealed down to the tip of your nail, like that. And that's done. You're done with Jamberry number 1. So do that times 10 and you're finished. If you're using the rice bag method, have this in the microwave for 30 seconds, and instead of using the heater, just put it on here or push it down like this, or you know, whatever combination of methods you want like that. But I like the heater. It's very handy because then you have both hands free. I've used my blow dryer. That works fine too, except then you have one hand that's kind of occupied. I've used a space heater. You know what? Even the heater in your car, you crank the heat all the way up to burning hot in your car, and you can do it there too. So there's lots of ways to get enough heat. It's not like it has to be 450 degrees or something. It just has to be hot. You know what I'm saying? So then that's Jamberry. These are super easy. Now, if you take a look, let's see if I can get these things to focus here. This set of Jamberry, except for the one I just did, these I have been wearing for 9 days. So they still look absolutely perfectly great. And every 4 to 5 days, depending on whether I'm gardening or doing anything particularly rough with my hands, I'll do a little maintenance. And maintenance is easy. I'll either go back with my clippers or with the Jamberry file and clip off just the tiniest bit of the end of the nail, and then file down and heat it. And I don't always use a heater. I've found recently, since it's summer, that the dashboard of my car, which gets very hot when it's parked, is a perfect tip sealer. So I'll just take all my fingers and stick them on the dashboard of my car, let them roll around there for 5 or 6 seconds, and then my tips are sealed and good as new. So I'm going to scrunch down here so you can see what I'm doing. after a couple of weeks of wearing Jamberry, give or take, when you're ready to take them off, this is what you do. There are several ways to remove Jamberry wraps. Some people like to soak their nails in acetone. Some people like to soak them in olive oil or coconut oil. And then that loosens the wrap, breaks the seal, and then you can gently work them off. My favorite way is to reheat them to make the adhesive soft, and then just pry them off gently with a wooden orange stick. Some people even use those little dental floss picks that have the little dental floss suspended between two edges, and then just roll it under once the adhesive is soft. And then some people combine some of these methods. You'll have to experiment to see what's right for you. But the most important thing is to please don't just grab the corner of the wrap and rip it off your finger, because if you do, it's likely going to take off some strips of the top layer of your nail, and of course we don't want that. So I'm going to show you here what we do to get them off. So this is my Jamberry heater. Let's see here. There we go. So I've got my heater. Give it just a moment to get warm. And I've got the flat end of my orange stick, the wooden one. And so I'm gonna take this one off right here. So I'm gonna put my nail right here in front of the heater for as long as it took to get the adhesive warm and sticky in the first place, which was 5 seconds, give or take. But I want it to be good and hot, because the warmer it is, the softer the adhesive is, and the less damage I will risk. Because if you do it right, your nails won't be damaged from these at all. So now the adhesive on there is nice and warm. So I'm going to take the orange stick and go around and break the seal all the way around. You can kind of see how soft that is. And I like to continue to work right in front of the heat. And so I just break the seal all the way around, and then using the orange stick, slowly, don't get in a rush. I know it's not a real exciting thing to watch, but at least you can see in real time what's involved in taking it off. So this is very warm on my fingers. And if you have little girls, you know, kids that might be more sensitive to the heat, you can look on YouTube for a process called the rice bag method. And that is where you take a little sock or pouch full of rice and warm it up in the microwave for about 30 seconds, and then place it onto the nail to get them warm instead of sticking them in front of the heater. The rice bag, if you make it yourself, can look like this. It's just a baby sock filled with rice, and there's a little ponytail holder right on here with no metal on it, and then I just put it in the microwave for 30 seconds and then put it right on the nails like this, and that's a little better than having the heat source directly on little tiny fingernails. Anyway, so the wrap is off. You can see there's still, let's see if I can get it without giving it too blurry, but you can see there's a little adhesive left on there. I'll clean that off with a little nail polish remover or olive oil or something, and then I'll be good to go. So there you have it, the complete Jamberry intro. Jamberry also sells hand care products and a line of beautiful colored professional nail lacquers, and the colors complement most of the wraps, so you can mix and match. Do polish on a couple fingers, put wraps on the rest, and the polish, the lacquers, are free of the big five. No, not any of those big formaldehyde and all those nasty things that go into drugstore polishes. So now that you know that Jamberry nails are the newest way to accessorize your fingers and toes, it's time to start shopping. Go to aliciasniftynails.com And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. aliciasniftynails@gmail.com. Thank you.